Bye week's over. Practice is back, and a lot of the Colts are back at practice. Jaylon Carlies, hey, remember him? He's back at practice. Samson Ebukam, limited, but back at practice. Mooney Ward, back at practice. Now look, Anthony Gould back at practice too. When you talk about Mooney Ward and Jaylon Carlies, they've been designated to return from IR. That doesn't mean that they're coming off IR. It doesn't mean they are off IR. What it means is that they've got a 3-week period of time where they can ramp up to play or not. So you've got 3 weeks where you can have these guys practice. I don't think it's going to take Mooney Ward 3 weeks to get ready to play quarterback. It may take Jaylon Carlies a while to get his legs back. We're going to see. It won't take any time at all for Anthony Gould to be ready to play. Samson Ebukam, still a little bit iffy for Sunday in Kansas City, but that's really good news. Additional good news for the Colts, not such good news for the Kansas City Chiefs. Xavier Worthy, he was on the shelf today, did not practice, and then Kingsley Suamataia, he starting guard, left guard for the Chiefs, he sat in practice as well today. So the Chiefs, not great injury news. The Colts, really good injury news. The only guy who didn't practice today among those who could was Tyquan Lewis. So Tyquan's still kind of shelved. The other guy's up. Colts almost at full strength, and that's huge. Huge for Sunday. 3.5-point dogs to the Chiefs. We'll see what they do. We'll talk about that game. We'll talk about the Colts and the Chiefs, what this game means statistically to the Colts. If they can get this win, they put themselves in a situation where they are damn likely to make the playoffs with 6 games remaining in the season, and really likely to win the AFC South if tomorrow night the Bills can get over on the Texans in Houston. We'll talk about Curt Cignetti. He's got a bobblehead coming out. Indiana logos all over the place, and it talks. See what you can get. See if you can guess what it says. I'll bet you can. And it's not Purdue sucks or Ohio State sucks or Michigan sucks, although I wish it did. If it did, I'd have bought one already. I would have made one myself, and I would have stood behind it saying, Purdue sucks, Ohio State sucks, Michigan sucks too. Then I'd drop the mic and walk off the floor. We're going to have a Myles Turner update. Myles Turner, I'm not saying that the Bucs have buyer's remorse at this point, spending $26.75 million on the 3-point stylings of Myles Turner. But if they're happy with that investment, I got some land I could sell them. I'd like to sell them this home for $4.8 million. It's too early for Pacers mock drafts. All right. So, but it's not too early to watch Boozer and Darren Peterson with Louisville, Boozer, of course, with Duke. Not too early to watch those guys and keep an eye on those guys because college basketball is lots of fun. But those guys, maybe if the Pacers keep losing in bulk, Pacers may be in the ball game to get one of them guys. But they got a game tonight that they're going to play against the Charlotte Hornets. You should go down there, watch it. You should, if you don't do that, watch on TV. All right, so let's watch basketball. Then we'll talk about the draft. I'm so happy that the Indianapolis Colts right now have kind of flipped that script, right? Even with the exception of 2022, in 21, 23, and 24, they were still in the playoff conversation late in the season. They just didn't get there, right? So they fell short in the end. So we weren't really in November talking about the draft coming up in April. The Colts took care of that for us by trading for Sauce Gardner. Sauce came over from the Jets for the next 2 first-round draft picks. So that means we aren't going to give a damn about April for the next 2 Aprils. So the Colts better be pretty damn good to hold our attention without thinking about the first round of the draft. Of course, that's the Thursday nights of the draft. Of course, we're going to be paying attention on Friday night and then Saturday, paying rapt attention to what the Colts do in the draft those nights. But Thursday nights, we're going to kind of have the night off. There ain't going to be anything unless the Colts make a deal and move into the first round, which is absolutely inconceivable that would happen. can you believe all that's going on in sports today? You know what we're going to do? Talk about it on Inside Indiana Sports now with Ken Sterling for Wednesday, November 19th, 2025. Brought to you by the great people at YouTube TV. They got it all back. They got ESPN back, ABC, FX. They got the Disney channels back. It's all back at a price you can afford, and they're going to help you out a little bit if you click on the link that will be in the show description immediately after this live is done. You know what we got? We got $15 off your first month. All right? $15 off your first month if you click that link and you sign up using that link, and it's your first time signing up. How about that action? That's excellent. Also, become a member. I talk about becoming a member all the time, but here's what we do on Saturday. We sit out here and we talk sports, and we chop it up. You make comments, I talk, we go. And it's a lot of fun. It's a great way to start a huge sports weekend, which this weekend is going to be. Also, you get a free copy of my book, autographed. I'll send it off to you. Oops, The Art of Learning from Mistakes and Adventures. And if you want a great Christmas gift for somebody that you need, you say, look, I don't want you to make any more mistakes. So here are 37 mistakes that this idiot's made. Here's a book that he wrote about the mistakes and what he learned from them. Let's go. Read it so you don't have to live through it. You can go on Amazon, pick up copies of the book, or just become an all-meal deal member. Here's what you do to win a prize. Every single Monday at about 4 o'clock, we give away a prize using the fabulous prize wheel. And the next 4 prizes are going to be Colts jerseys that are autographed by a former Colts great. We gave away the current Colt jersey. That was Riley Leonard. We did that on Wednesday. I shipped it out today. Off we go. And to be eligible, you got to become a subscriber, which is free. And you've got to use the phrase that pays. Welcome back is the phrase that pays today for Mooney Ward, Jaylon Carlies, Anthony Gould, and Samson Ebukam. Welcome back, boys. That's the phrase that pays. That counts as your entry. You can enter once per video. You enter in the comments. All right, smash the like button. And if you want to make a comment or if you want to make a donation, which many have already in this video, I'll go through those in just a second. Please do so. Feel free. No big whoop. But include a comment or a question to elevate the level of discourse on the channel. All right, here we go. Sports says defense will what? Here we go. Sports says IU basketball teams can make them lose if offense goes dry. Teams can make them lose if offense goes dry. I believe that's their biggest weakness. Hope they get better. Go IU. If they shoot it, they can win. If they don't shoot it, they're going to lose. You know what? That's basketball in a nutshell, isn't it? That's the way basketball works. You got to defend a little bit. Indiana, not great defensively, although they were better defensively against Incarnate Word than they were offensively. They did not shoot well. They didn't shoot great from the line. They're going to be okay. They're not going to be great. They're not going to win a national championship this week. Don't worry about any of that. It's all going to be fine. This is a process. You got to be patient through the process. Don't expect greatness. A win over Marquette does not project to the Hoosiers getting over on anybody or everybody in the Big Ten. It's just not the way it works. All right. I think we settled that score, didn't we? All right. IU will bury Odom, nice, and paint Lafayette red. Exactly. It's going to be a red out at Ross-Ade Stadium. Let's go. Great news from the Colts today. Let's talk about all of it. Mooney Ward back, Jaylon Carlies back, Anthony Gould back, and Samson Ebukam back limited. They all practiced today. Tyquan Lewis did not practice today. Ward and Carlies designated return. That means that the Colts have 3 weeks in which to activate them or they're not coming back at all. All right, so that's the way it goes. And they expect to have them upgraded to active at some point in the near future. I would expect Ward to be good to go this weekend. I would expect Carlies to go within that 3-week window at some point This bye week came at exactly the right time for a team with a lot of bumps and bruises. Ebukam, is he going to play? I think he's going to wind up being questionable. We're going to see how he responds to practicing today. Anthony Gould, I would expect to be up. Chiefs, 3.5-point favorites. If you're going to bet on the Chiefs, I'd get some odds and bump that number from 3.5 up to 8.5 because the Chiefs do not win close games. And when they do win, they win by a minimum of 13. So I would bet it over that one possession threshold, and I'd get some odds. Because if it's a close game, I think the Colts win it. If it's a blowout, Daniel Jones, 1 or less turnovers, and they win. Can that be the blueprint? That's a hell of a blueprint no matter who you're playing, but especially playing against the Kansas City Chiefs. What that would mean if that's a great comment. Thanks so much for that, Ryan. The reason that works is that means that the Chiefs aren't getting substantial pressure on Daniel Jones. And if they don't get substantial pressure on Daniel Jones, it means that the Colts have figured out how to stop the blitzing of Steve Spagnuolo. And that means that you're going to have less guys in coverage than you got receivers for the Colts. And you're going to have guys to choose from on their routes. If they bring 6, they got 5 to cover. They're covering 4 guys. That means you got 3 one-on-one matchups. And if you got 3 one-on-one matchups and a back coming out of the backfield, chipping and going, you know what? You are going to win that battle, all right? Colts win enough of those battles, they're going to score points. Like we talked about this morning and yesterday, when Anarumo with the Bengals, every game that they played, other than the first, in 2021, there was a 31-point scoring barrage from Kansas City. It wasn't a winning barrage, but it was a barrage. Then every game subsequent to that, in 22, 23, and 24, there were 4 of those games, and then a 5th in the playoffs in 21. The Chiefs scored between 23 and 26 points. Lou Anarumo knows how to get the Chiefs to score between 23 and 26 points. So what you got to do if you're the Colts, you got to score more than 26 points, and if you do that, you're going to win this game. Now, it's going to be a hell of a challenge for the Colts to score that many points. But that offense is 100% healthy. Taylor's healthy. Jones is healthy. The O-line is healthy. Warren's healthy. Pittman, Downs, Pierce, healthy. Let's go. Let's go into Kansas City, take the crowd out of it quick, throw a 50-50 ball up to Alec Pierce, get that defense to soften a little bit, and then turn JT loose. There it is. And Daniel Jones talked about that. When we talked to him today, Daniel Jones was talking about the need to secure the ball. That was when he was asked about protection issues against both the Falcons and prior to that, the Steelers, where there were significant protection issues. But he said, hey, when protection breaks down, my job's to secure the football. He's 100% right. Rather take a sack than turn it over, right? You're giving up with a sack, you give up probably 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and you give up what would have been a punt, worst case scenario, right? So that you're talking about 50 yards in net yardage field position. Can't have that. Colts, a win would be enormous if the Colts could get that win, especially if the Texans lose to the Bills tomorrow night and the Jacksonville Jaguars, they lose in Arizona on Sunday. If that happens and the Colts win, Colts would be 4 up on the Texans, which is huge with 6 games left and 2 games against the Texans. So really, you box them out with 1 win. By splitting, you would box them out. And they would be up 3 on the Jaguars, again with 2 to play against the Jags. So you would make it almost impossible for the Jaguars to come back if you split against them. So a win this weekend, a loss by both, and then splitting against them for the next 6 weeks that follow this weekend, you got the AFC South. It's a done deal. Let's go. I think the Colts get this done. Let's see. As the week goes on, we know how my brain works, and I apologize for it in advance. But the way my brain works is Tuesday, I'm a little bit cynical about the odds of the Colts beating almost anyone. And then Wednesday, I feel a little bit better. Thursday, better yet. And then Friday, I'm full on bullish about the Indianapolis Colts and their ability to win. Stroud, by the way, is going to be out tomorrow night. Got a concussion, already ruled out. The Bills are going to be without Kincaid, Hardman, and Samuel. So Josh Allen not going to have a lot of weapons at his disposal to hit. Curt Cignetti has a bobblehead coming out. He's at a podium, IU logos everywhere, and he talks. It's a talking bobblehead. Do you know what it says? It says, yeah, it's pretty simple. Just like he said, and it's his voice. Yeah, it's pretty simple. I win. Google me. That's what he says, and that's about the timing of it. Absolutely beautiful. I want one. Please send me one, people. Not you, but the people who run the Google, or not the Google, but the bobblehead thing. Hoosiers, you know what? They're getting ready to play Purdue, and that's in just 9 days. That's a week from this coming Friday night at Ross-Ade Stadium. It's going to be a readout at Ross-Ade. And here's the deal. Here's what you got to have. You got to be ready to play because Purdue doesn't have a bowl. It's going to be all over. The seniors at Purdue, they're never going to play football again. None of these guys are going to the NFL. This is their last opportunity to play a meaningful football game, and they're going to lay it all out there. Indiana, win or lose, in all likelihood, they're looking at a game at Lucas Oil Stadium for the Big Ten Championship and then a spot in the college football playoff. They got lots of football left. Purdue's got none left. So you're going to take every bullet they got. They are going to empty all chambers on a week from Friday. And that means you better be on your P's and Q's and good to go. And if you're not, they're going to ram it up your ass and make it hurt. So play hard. Be ready. This isn't like a walk in a park. This isn't like playing Rutgers on October 13th. This is Purdue, the bucket game, rivalry game. That bucket is going to have, they got the I's and they got the P's right on that chain. And because of this game, either an I or a P is going to go on that chain, and that's going to be in that bucket forever. That means something to Purdue. It might not mean a hell of a lot to Indiana this year, but it better. All right, you better twist yourself in the brain to where this game means everything to you, because if you don't play well in it, all your dreams could go. You know what? Your dreams go. Don't make your dreams go. Myles Turner. All right, well, wait a second. Basketball, we got another, tomorrow night, we got another cupcake, and that's Lindenwood. They're not a good team. They're a terrible team. They're, honest to God, their opponents in their wins, they are 2-3 on the season. They beat Charleston Southern, which I've never heard of, and then they also beat St. Louis Pharmacy. I don't even know what that is. Is that a pharmacy? Do they have like a pharmacy department? Is this the pharmacy, the School of Pharmacy at St. Louis University has its own kind of ad hoc basketball program? I don't know. But whatever, Lindenwood beat them. That's all they got. Those might be the only 2 wins they get this entire season. They're not going to beat Indiana tomorrow night. But Indiana's going to have to play good defense, and they're going to have to shoot the ball well against Kansas State next Tuesday to beat Kansas State. Tomorrow night, I think you could show up blindfolded and shackled and beat Lindenwood. Myles Turner, 12.3 points per game, 6.3 rebounds per game, 1.7 blocks per game. That is $27 million worth of center. State of Wisconsin, kiss my ass. We told you so. Too early for mock drafts. We're not going to worry about NBA mock drafts, for God's sake. That's 7 months away. All right, more than 7 months away. And the Pacers, we don't know where they're going to be drafting. Hopefully when they get everybody healthy, they start winning some games. They could win the game tonight against the Charlotte Hornets. How many Charlotte Hornets can you name? That's a good question. I'll give you a moment to ponder. How about, I go from, here are the guys, Ryan Kalkbrenner. Remember him, the center from Creighton? He's starting for the Hornets. Colin Sexton, I heard of him. He's starting for the Hornets. LaMelo Ball, I don't know whether he's hurt or not. He had started 8 games. I don't know whether he's back or not. And then Miles Bridges. He isn't too bad. They've won 4 games this year. That's 400% more than the Indiana Pacers, who have 1 win. Ball, good for you, Patrick. See you Sunday when we win. Indy put y'all out, y'all misery. What? Indy who? Notre Dame? Good heavens. Colts will not win. I know Kent was a Chiefs fan when he was little, and Sarah knows what I'm talking about. Keep it real, Kent. Colts will fold, buddy. Chiefs Nation. No, I wasn't. I was never a Chiefs fan. I did watch. I watched Otis Taylor and Len Dawson toward the end of his career, and Willie Lanier and Buck Buchanan and Art Podolak. Remember that guy, Jan Stenerud, when I was a little kid? They were on TV all the time because they were out west, and you had an early game in the east. You had an out west game out west, so it was always like the Raiders and the Chiefs. It was awesome, and it was fun. But I was never a Hank Stram fan. Hank Stram was a cheat. I've heard stories about Hank Stram, the late great Hank Stram. A cheater. Do you know what he did? He did I don't know what the party was. It was an NFL party, and you could win a sweet vacation worth a lot of money. And you picked out a golf ball, and everybody got 1 golf ball, and everybody got to put their name on it or something, put the golf ball in the hopper, and they were going to draw. So everybody's in line going into the party. Hank Stram takes the ball, puts it in the hopper, then he circles around, re-enters the party, gets another golf ball, puts his name on it, and drops it in. That's who you're dealing with the Chiefs. Toby says, this is the Dalton guy who keeps mass spamming your live streams. He does 1 comment and just mass pastes it repeatedly. I don't understand why, but you know what? Easy enough to ignore, isn't it? When you ignore problems, they tend to go away. When you make an issue of problems, the people are rewarded. So we read a comment once, and we enjoy it. There you go. Charles Hill, how are you? How's the lovely Mrs. Hill just coming off her birthday? The phrase that pays, of course, is, I already said it. So there you go. All right, you have a great day. We will talk to you tomorrow morning. Breakfast with Kent, bright and early, 6:40. Can't wait to talk to you then.